Right, you're right, guys and girls, welcome back to another video of mine today. I wanted to talk about wrestling games and how it's sort of affected me over the years playing them, because brilliant, fantastic games. I actually played the original back on the PlayStation 1 when you had SmackDown, then you had SmackDown 2, Know Your Row I think it was, then you had SmackDown, not SmackDown 3, I think it was like WWF Know Your Row or something. Not Know Your Row. I think it was. Is it in something called Pain or something? Here Comes the Pain. I believe that was the third sort of game. Then I think you had like other games like SmackDown versus Raw, 2006. I think they went right up onto the 360 games as well on the Xbox 360. And you had the original Xbox games from 2002 and 2003. Now, I'm a big wrestling fan. I love it. I enjoy playing these old sort of wrestling games back in the old days and all that, of old consoles from the original Xbox, but also from the original PlayStation 1. That's where actually not even that actually, to be honest. The originals probably took me back to the NES versions when you had WrestleMania. Now that was a classic games back then. Then you had like, I think it was Sega. I think they had some on the Sega Saturn and the Sega Mega Drive, I'm not too sure, but I played them for a long time. Now, that we got backwards compatible on the Xbox One, I would like to see some of the Xbox original games make the cut to the Xbox One on the backwards compatible list for some wrestling games. I haven't seen much games at all, really, actually none to do with the wrestling games at all on it. Now, I played one on the original Xbox back in, I think it was 2002, 2003. I think it was released in 2003. So 2003, about 2003, 2004, when you had WWF Raw, and then you had WWF Raw 2, or it was called just Raw 2. I would like actually them to release those two games. I think it was both by THQ or something like that. I think that's when they did the original games. Now, on the second Raw game, which was on the original Xbox, and I mean the black Xbox with the actual green cross on it, the X. Now, that was fantastic for its time. Very powerful console as well. And I also used to play the PS2 versions of the PlayStation 1 games, PS2 games of SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, Know Your Row, and all these other SmackDown versus Raw. I think 2006 was on the PS2. Then I opted over to the 2016. Then you got 2017 and 18. I would love, actually 2018 is on the Xbox One anyway, and that's the Xbox One version. So you got 2017, which I've got as well. But really, they're campaigns, and they didn't really have any stories. There's no story, no campaigns to it. It's just matches and different like story modes. Not a story actually. Story modes wasn't in the games at all. They just had some sort of career mode where you create your character or wrestler and then just move in. That's on 18 and 6. Well, actually 18 and 17. 16, I'm not too sure. I think they had these like actual story characters where you could choose the characters' stories of how they won certain matches. So you see like a little video clip or film clip of their career. Say if it was Rey Mysterio, I think it was CM Punk. I think they had a CM Punk one where you could play the story mode and it showed you all of his greatest matches in there. Now, with some of those, I think showcases, that's it. They had some showcases. Now I'm hoping for 2019 version, guys and girls. I hope we get more wrestlers in 2019's WWE 2K19, which is actually out in October. I think something around October, something or November. But it should be fantastic. Should be fantastic. I love SmackDown games. Actually, and I love WWE wrestling games, all intense. I would love them to bring TNA Impact, actually, the 360 version, to the backwards compatible list. I'm not too sure who made that game, whether it was THQ as well, because they used to make a lot of wrestling games, actually, THQ. But my all-time favourite was SmackDown versus Raw 2007. I think that was one where you had like Ric Flair, you had all the old WCW wrestlers, and then the ECW wrestlers as well. In there as well, and you had like Nitro. I think you got the Nitro arenas and like some of the WCW arenas. Now apparently I heard somewhere along the lines actually WWE is actually coming up with some WCW pay-per-views within the next couple of months of this year. So hopefully it leads up to around about WrestleMania of next year as well. Hopefully we get like Starrcade, maybe even proper pay-per-views, not in the games, but Starrcade, Halloween Havoc, because Halloween's coming up, so hopefully we get Halloween Havoc in WWE as a WCW pay-per-view, because that'd be fantastic. And I hope they bring Booker T and Stevie Ray, I think it was in it, his brother, and they have like sort of a tag team and do a sort of like an old retro sort of matches. Maybe bring Big Papa Pump and Rick Steiner and all that, and the Steiner recliner, and yeah, that'd be fantastic if they brought some of those old matches in. But full games on the 360 to the Xbox One. I'm back in a minute, guys, and go. Right, so I'm in the middle at the moment making a hot chocolate and making my mum a tea at the same time I'm doing this. That's why I had to pause it for a minute. But yeah, there's another game on the original Xbox what I would like to actually be released actually as a backwards compatible, because I have that in my collection of my wrestling games on the original Xbox, and it'd be quite nice to actually download that and replay it again, even though I think it's like a 4.3 sort of letterbox version screen, but it doesn't matter as long as they like keep it the way exactly it is, and or you can enhance it. It'd be nice if they can enhance the actual picture quality to like 4K or something like they did with the Star Wars of the Old Republic and all that. That would be awesome actually if they did that with some of the older games, the Knights of the Old Republic. But there is one wrestling game I find fantastic, and I used to play a lot of it, and that was the one with Randy Orton in it, where he used to be the Legend Killer in it, even though he's played in a lot of other games like SmackDown vs Raw. And yeah, guys and girls, you've guessed it, WrestleMania 21 I believe it was called, or WrestleMania 20, I think it was 21, and it was one of my favourite games because it was dedicated to WrestleMania 21 at the time, when you had Randy Orton and the rest of the wrestlers in there. I think Batista or something was in there as well. And then you had like Kane and Undertaker and all that. Fantastic though, for the times. Alright, now. Alright. But yeah, I'm a big wrestling fan. I've been like a wrestling fan since I could remember getting out of diapers at the time and all of that, so fantastic. I remember like we used to watch that WWF Extreme Rules, and we used to watch that Velocity and all that, and WWF Heat, which were like sort of the lower pay-per-views, but they were like sort of showing you what was going on in the like Raw and SmackDown at the time. They were showing you like sort of in-depth short reviews of all the matches we were playing on, and then there was like extra stuff. So it's a bit like how can I pronounce that? So basically, when the pay-per-views used to come on now, right, when all the WWF or WWE pay-per-views come on now, they usually have a pre-show, but this one they show you like a post-show of all the matches that's gone on from Raw and SmackDown, but they do short cuts, so short videos of it, short clips of some of the matches. And there used to be one wrestler I used to love watching, the Hurricane. I think his name's Shane Helms as the Hurricane. I think that's the one. And then there was the ones I used to watch, WCW back in the days, with Larry Zbyszko, and then you had what's the other ones, the voice commentators. Let us know in the comment below, guys and girls, in the comment section. Used to have like Larry Zbyszko. You had that bloke used to basically got fired, and then he ended up dressing himself up as a woman to try and get into the studio, and then pretend to be one of the ones visiting or something. And then he was putting different disguises on. Oh, that was hilarious. That was, guys and girls. The WCW, pretty cool. I remember when they had the NWO taken over the place. Hulk Hogan and all these greats. Then you had Sting taking on Ric Flair. I think that was, I forgot what that pay-per-view was called now. Is it the Great American Bash? Not too sure. I think that was, might be. I think it was War Games. Might be War Games. I know. There's one where Ric Flair and Sting teamed up at War Games in one of them, and they were both in a cage match, and the 3 sort of cages attached on to each other, and they all had to get out and all having a fight in WCW. Then there was ones where in WCW there was some fights in the back of a truck. It was outside. There's blokes having a fight in the back of a truck, and they had to try and get out or something and try and get on the roof, and they were hitting each other, and the truck was moving. And then you had the electrifying fence as well. Some great matches in WCW back in those days. They were crazy as well. Vampiro was another great wrestler. I hope he actually makes the cut in 2019 because he was a fantastic wrestler. Then you've got you have got another wrestler, great wrestler. If I can remember his name. Now you got another one, Chris Benoit. I hope he makes the cut as well, guys and girls, because he was one of the all-time greatest. They called him the Crippler because he used to put the cross face on everybody. And just, to be honest, I don't know if WWE will actually put him in due to his circumstances of what happened. I know he's not here with us now and all that, rest in peace and all that. But I think, to be honest, they shouldn't be thinking about what he did at the time. Maybe it was like a mental illness and stuff like that. Circumstances do happen with mental illnesses, or maybe he was high on drugs. We don't really know the truth, and we cannot put the truth into facts. So we try, and the best thing is no one knows if he actually did it or not. Some reckon that he was actually murdered and his whole family wiped out and all that kind of stuff. But I think, to be honest, what they should do is WWE, who doesn't know the actual true facts, I think they should just put him into the Hall of Fame, and they should actually give him a spot in the video games. They're doing it with, I'm not too sure with Hulk Hogan at the moment. They're bringing him back, but his circumstances are not as that worse than what Chris Benoit did, obviously. But because we don't know the truth, I think we should move away from the past and deal with the future, and just keep moving forward and not look back at the bad times. Always look at the good times, guys and girls, because otherwise it eats people up. And I think, to be honest, WWE should put him into the Hall of Fame, and they should be not looking at what he did then, like outside of the wrestling, and what he did like sort of with family and all that kind of stuff, and all that horrifying stuff. But I think what they should be doing is actually seeing the good stuff he did when he was in wrestling, all the technical wrestling. And I think they should bring Dean Malenko into it as well, because he was an awesome technical wrestler as well. He was one of the all-time greatest. I think he's still alive as well. And my God, they called him, I think it was the man with 1,000,000 moves or something, called 1,000 moves or something. He was wrestling, putting different locks on, submission moves, technical moves and all that. Just fantastic, great wrestlers. Then you had Eddie Guerrero, you had Dean Malenko, and then you've got Chris Benoit. Put all those 3 wrestlers together, be a fantastic one. But I think they should do is bring some of the WCW wrestlers into it, the WWE wrestlers, the ECW wrestlers, I think it was 305 or 5.